like that theme, because it's time for Nerdy for 30, podcast where we talk about nerdy-ish movies for 30-ish minutes. My name, as always, is Kevin Bauer, the Critics' Choice. With me, the People's Champ, Tim Keck.
If you feel it, chase it, baby. Yeah.
Chase it. And for either the fourth or the fifth year, depending on how you're keeping track, we are back with another Christmas special covering Die Hard. And you know what that means. It's time for our pal, Matt Strickland. Matt, thanks for being here, man.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. I'm so happy to be here. Always a pleasure. It's really my Christmas present to myself, is allowing myself to hang out with you guys.
We're a guilty pleasure. We're a once a year hang at best.
Well, that's what keeps it special. It keeps the relationship fiery.
I dig it. So speaking of keeping this relationship fiery, look, we've talked a lot of Die Hard over the years. Some would say too much Die Hard. I would disagree. But
no, who says that? No one says that.
We got some listener mail.
We've said it to each other.
I think we got to start doing this.
To me.
We should start doing this actually like every 6 months.
I think so.
Yeah. Well,
I'm into it.
Die Hard 1 at Christmas, 4th of July, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Maybe that's a great summer movie. Maybe we just add that into the mix.
I'm very into that. We also haven't covered Die Hard 2, which is also a Christmas movie. We're just leaving that one completely out of the cold.
Die Harder, maybe next year.
Maybe
Die
next
Harder.
year. But for this year, we're putting a little spin on this bad boy. So last year, we went through and tried to decide, you know what? Die Hard, people argue whether or not it's a Christmas movie. What can we do? What can we add to Die Hard to make it more explicitly a Christmas movie? This year, we have a twist on the premise. We are taking famous Christmas movies and making them Die Hards. Does anybody want to kick us off? Matt, I know there's one specifically you called dibs on in the text thread.
Yes,
do you want to dive right in and pick this?
I'm so happy that I'm actually getting it. I thought we were going to roll for draft position, but I'm more than happy to take the number one slot.
You've got
number
it.
One. Okay, so for the listeners, just again, I'm going to choose a Christmas movie, and then we are, as a group, going to turn it into Die Hard, basically. And with that, I will choose. It's got to be Elf. Number one, Elf, right off the jump. That was the first one I thought of. Yeah, number one with a Christmas bullet, Elf. And here's the thing. We already have our setting. We already have a big office building. The building that they do, the publishing house.
Gimbals?
Right? We have Gimbals. We have a publishing building, a huge office building. We have an external force, Buddy the Elf, John McClane, coming into this building. We have a tumultuous family relationship, him and his father. So here's what I propose. I propose Buddy the Elf is sort of the John McClane analog. James Caan is the Bonnie Bedelia. And who's the villain? It's got to be Peter Dinklage, right? Because he's already sort of an evil, full of himself children's book writer. So we're going to have to, obviously, a couple of tweaks here and there. So here's my idea. My idea is that the beginning of the movie, identical to a regular elf, till he gets to the office building to meet James Caan for the first time. But then we start to do some diehardian twists. Peter Dinklage, he's actually run out of ideas for children's books. He doesn't have any ideas left. So he's got to break in to the publishing house to steal their ideas. And that happens right after James Caan rebuffs Buddy the Elf for the first time. And we know Buddy the Elf has he's got a specific set of skills, which we see in the movie during the snowball fighting scene, right? So we know that he can turn Christmas paraphernalia into deadly weapons.
This works very well.
The office building is decorated in fake icicles that can be used for stabbing. He can get snow from window ledges, turn those into projectile devices. And I think that with a team of terrorists, Peter Dinklage takes over the building and is trying to steal the ideas for their children's books. Buddy the Elf has to not only fend off the terrorists in a John McClane-esque fashion, but then also reconnect with his father, much like John McClane and Bonnie Bedelia, Holly, Gennaro, McClane do in Die Hard. What do we think?
I love it.
How can we add to it?
I think it's great.
Level.
Maybe he can be on a walkie-talkie with Michael, his estranged brother, his half-brother.
Perfect.
And then my other thought is, one of my favorite things in Elf is just the how Santa hates the Central Park Rangers. Maybe they could team up with Peter Dinklage and they have a joint agreement of some kind. Right. You know, I don't know what would unite them in the same cause, like to steal an idea. Maybe there's also, if he writes a good enough book, he can expose Santa for the fraud he is or something like that.
And
I don't know.
The park rangers have always wanted to like get
they
Santa
hate Santa
exposed. Also, he put them on the naughty alternatively, list. The park rangers could be sort of the LAPD, how they were outside the building trying to help, but they were also assholes who just kept getting in John McClane's way and screwing things up for him.
Yeah. They could be the Johnson and Johnson.
The Johnson
could be kind of fun.
Johnson, Special Agent Johnson. So that could be like a dynamic. Or they could just be corrupt cops, as we know, not in real life. That never happens, but in the films.
Oh, never.
Yeah. Cops can be corrupt. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of meat on this bone. There's a lot of meat on this Christmas ham.
I think there's one little scrap of meat that I'm surprised you didn't bring up. I didn't hear you list an Ellis.
Well, that's got to be Kyle Gass.
Beautiful.
It's got to be Kyle Gass and Andy Richter sort of playing a dual Ellis.
Yes.
Dual Ellis situation, right? But I love that. Yeah, Mary Steenburgen and the Michael the brother outside, sort of fulfilling the Reginald Vell Johnson role. I mean, this is a strong. If they ever do an Elf sequel, this they could just do this, and then it gets horrifically violent, like very very violent.
Yeah, he still does the ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun.
Yeah. And he's like, we flash back to him using some kind of snowball gun, so we know that that's like why he's so, he's so good at it. And he still has his Buddy the Elf innocence, but just like in the snowball scene, he's got to take care of business. And I feel like that. Yeah. I feel
wonderful
very
pick.
strong about
That's a good one. That's a banger. That's a banger for sure.
And then like the helicopter at the end of Die Hard, Santa sleigh shows up and maybe explodes.
I think that's only right.
Yeah. I feel like I would watch that. That's a better version of some of these Christmas action movies that have been coming out in the last couple of years.
Definitely too. Definitely not a red one among it. No. Dang, I think that's a good one, Matt. I like it.
I think it legit works.
I know. It's like halfway there already,
It's basically a Die Hard already. Yeah. Kevin, do you want to go next?
Oh, I'll take one. Curious if anybody else had this one on the list. Classic claymation, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yep. Thinking about it.
So here's what I got for you. I tried to break down what makes a Die Hard into 6 basic component parts. 1, who's the John? Who's the fish out of water? He's going to come in and save this thing. Yukon Cornelius. This guy is rough and tumble in a way that nobody else in this movie can bring. Who's the Ellis? Who's that one little shit? It's that little shit who's like, Herbie doesn't like to make toys. That guy's been a narc from day one. He's exactly the guy who's going to come at the villain and try to get on their side. Who is that villain? Who's the grouper? We're doing a little crossover here. It's the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser. I know they're technically from Year Without a Santa Claus, but they're villains in the universe, and I don't think that the Bumble could really be a convincing Hans Gruber.
No, because the Bumble has a heart of gold that we know by the end, a heart of jelly.
Yeah, he's like the lion in that story about the lion and the mouse. He's got a bad tooth. He's got a thorn in his paw.
Yeah. No, I think that's a stronger choice.
I deeply appreciate that. For the Nakatomi Plaza, Santa's workshop for sure. What's the equivalent of the bearer bonds? Got to be Santa's magic tools in this. You got to imagine that Santa, in order to spread his magic out to the workforce of these elves, he put a little bit of magic in all the tools that they're using. Whosoever holds that power possesses the power of the mighty Santa Claus.
Like Thor's hammer.
Yeah,
exactly,
sort of like the mighty Molnar.
Yes.
Yeah. Same deal there. No, the last piece that I had here, that makes something a Die Hard is who's Al Powell and what did he do to get taken off the force? In this one, I think it's Santa, and I think he still accidentally shot a kid.
Yeah, I think Al in every variation has to have accidentally shot a kid.
Yeah,
I think that's a constant.
It's a great idea. I love that.
I shot a kid. Incredible line delivery.
I mean, it ages like a fine wine. That plot point.
That's good. I liked it a lot. I was also kicking around a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer idea. Yours makes a lot more sense as a Die Hard.
Well, wait, I have a question for Kevin. Where's Rudolph?
I'm so glad you asked. He's the Argyle. He's down. He's locked in the basement. He's having a good time in the sleigh. He's playing music. He's listening to the game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Also, the Holly Gennaro is Herbie, and he and Yukon are fucking.
Right. Okay.
Yes, of course.
So Herbie is the Ellis and the Holly.
Herbie isn't the Ellis. The Ellis is the guy, the kind of portly elf who's like, Herbie doesn't like to make toys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was confused. Yes. Narc elf. Okay.
Yeah.
Narc elf
and Herbie. And Herbie's Yukon's little twink.
Yep.
Got it. Perfect.
Nice.
That makes a lot of sense. That checks out. So what are the beats of the story?
Oh, man. I think it's probably, I did not work that out. So we're riffing here. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm open. Yukon, maybe he's coming to the workshop because he and Herbie's relationship has been on the rocks, So he's flying in to the workshop. You care more
about Christmas than you care about me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. He gets there. Herbie is not using the surname Cornelius on the employee register.
Wow.
Herbie Gennaro.
Yukon Gennaro.
Yeah, perfect.
Yukon Cornelius Gennaro.
Yeah, and that's when the misers attack,
Right.
Yukon's just cleaning up. He's washing up in Herbie's private bathroom attached to his office.
And so maybe the heat miser is sort of like the Alexander Godunov character.
Oh, yeah.
And the chill miser. What's his name? The snow miser?
I think Snow Miser? Yeah.
Yeah, he is sort of the Hans Gruber character.
Love that.
Works. Anyone out there who can whip up some claymation real quick, get this one going. We'll do the voices.
Famously speedy art form of claymation.
If you can get this done by Christmas, we'll put it out.
And only if it comes in one day late. Today is Christmas, so if it comes in under the wire today, we'll put it out. If not,
so if you can get this out in the next couple of hours, I mean, we got a hit.
Incredible.
On
Tim, what you got? What you got cooking over there?
Well, okay. I want my alternate pitch for Rudolph, just because I was thinking about it a little bit, not nearly as fleshed out, but I was thinking Rudolph is kind of cast out by Santa, right? Because he has this red nose, he's ostracized from the community. So he assembles a team of Yukon, Hermie, and the Island of Misfit Toys to get revenge on Santa. And then those could be his henchmen. And then his one-time girlfriend, Clarice, could be the John McClane character who has to take Rudolph out.
Interesting.
While they're being attacked in the North Pole. And I want to turn, how in that claymation, Hermie defeats the Bumble by removing all of his teeth.
Yeah.
And then he becomes friendly. I feel like that should be just a horrific torture scene of him just ripping at bamboo shoots under the Bumble's fingernails and ripping out teeth till he gets what he wants. And then, him just being a good guy after that, that's Stockholm syndrome, he's been through a traumatic experience. He's coping. He's just trying to recover. And, now they have him dancing for fun and putting stars on the top of trees. I think this movie is a lot more fucked up than we are willing to acknowledge every other day of the year.
So you think Clarice ends up killing Rudolph?
Yeah, definitely. But then the sexual tensions between them, again, it's not as good of a Die Hard, but the sexual tension between her and Rudolph, I think, will continue while Rudolph is getting revenge on Santa and his reindeer who ostracized him in the first place. And he's kind of a sympathetic villain because, again, he was rejected. He was cast out. He's fighting for acceptance, but the only language he understands is violence. And so that's how he tries to communicate his inner turmoil to the gang.
I like that. I like also that by putting Rudolph in the Gruber spot, you're swapping a character that already has experience in a movie of doing a voice change. So, you know, when Hans Gruber is trying to pretend to be American and he's like, oh, God, they're coming for me. Rudolph, that could be Rudolph's
one of them.
Voice. Oh, God.
You're one of them.
That could be, there could be Rudolph from the scene where he has the stuff covering up his nose and he's like, she thinks I'm cute. That kind of thing.
That's him pretending to be an American. It's a good impression. Yeah.
I like this one a lot. And the Island of Misfit Toys have always been horrifying. Crimes.
They are horrifying
that need to be destroyed. Santa was right to isolate them.
Hashtag Santa was right, dude.
Santa was right. They're horrifying, disgusting abominations, and they deserve to be on that island by themselves.
I think Rudolph and his crew are coming in with the Island of Misfit Toys and using potentially the toys as weapons themselves. You know, there's the water gun that squirts jelly that could be used to blind Santa's eyes and take him out of commission. There's the train with square wheels. Those are pointy and sharp. You know, you could be throwing these square wheels at people like ninja stars.
Charlie in the box just jumps out at people.
Charlie in the box is, you know, that's its own traumatizing thing because you're like, I'm expecting a Jack in the Box and then it's Charlie. It's like really subverting your expectations.
More of an emotional weapon.
Yeah, he's an emotional weapon for sure.
He's a reminder of everything that's ever fallen short in your life.
I mean,
yeah, I like it.
Got legs. Okay. Unlike Charlie in the Box, this has got legs.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I got
this thing doesn't fly, but it does swim like the canary that flies. That only swims. You got another one for Rudolph?
What do you got?
No, I got another movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I have another movie idea, unless I should pass it on. But I had a movie I was going to suggest.
Oh, we snake drafting? Let's snake draft it.
Okay,
go, Tim.
Let's snake it.
We're snaking? Well, I was like, you already took Rudolph, so I was piggybacking off of that. I don't know. Whatever.
Right.
I wanted to throw this out, A Christmas Story, which my family watches for 24/7, you know, on TNT when it comes out.
Controversial opinion, perhaps. I do not care for this film.
Wow.
It is. I think it is Stockholm Syndrome on my part that I like it. It's just been in the background for so many years that I'm just all in on this movie. I think it's great. I love it. And so there's an important part of the movie where Ralphie's dad is all about the Christmas turkey. They have turkey for Christmas. And he's all about it. And he keeps trying to steal a piece. And his mom's like, no. And she smacks his hand away and he can't get the turkey. And then they have their annoying, you know, hillbilly neighbors, the Buppuses. It's a Bumpuses. And they have a bunch of dogs. And he's constantly battling these dogs, and they are coming in, invading his property. And then he closes the door. He gets one on the ear, whatever. At the end of the movie, they get revenge by breaking into his house, taking the turkey and eating it up and taking it away before the old man can even get a piece. And then they go out and celebrate Chinese Christmas, I guess, which I don't know if that's still cool today.
But actual plot of the movie, or
this is the actual plot of the movie. So in my mind, okay, but so this is the
real plot of the movie.
Your pitch is real plot of
nothing. No, I've changed
already
nothing.
A diehard.
So until this point, we're changing nothing, right? Ralphie gets his Red Ryder BB gun. The Bumpuses dogs come in. They take the turkey. I think when this happens, his father slips into a turkey-deprived coma from a lack of turkey, and Ralphie has to go battle the Bumpuses to get the turkey back from their dog and their hillbilly neighbors. And he's got...
So this is sort of a reverse Die Hard, where John McClane is going into the building.
Right. Intentionally entering the Bumpuses' land, which we could make it whatever we want it to be.
Heist.
Yeah, just like a weird trailer park, or there's definitely a boat just parked in a driveway. Like whatever kind of, white trash stuff we can come up with, we can put in his way. And he's got to get by all the dogs and the Bumpuses, which, I mean, it's a pretty vague reference, the Bumpuses. So they could have a family. I mean, they probably have a family of they have at least 30 kids over there, Yeah,
they could be pedophiles.
Yeah, they're pedophiles for sure. I meant they're children, but yeah, no, they could also be pedophiles.
Children could also be pedophiles. Yeah,
that's true.
Anyone can be a pedophile. That's the one thing you should take away from our podcast, Nerdy for 30, the podcast where we talk about nerdy-ish things for 30-ish minutes.
What is more nerdy?
Nerding out about specific things than pedophiles. Merry Christmas to us all, and to all a good night. So that was kind of my pitch. I guess a reverse Die Hard. But I would love to see Ralphie with his Red Ryder BB gun extract revenge on the Bumpuses and their damn dogs for taking Turkey away from the old man.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I think dogs should be used as hardcore villains in movies more. I'm thinking of the excellent movie Green Room, where there's evil dogs. I think dogs are used as cute man's best friend types too much. And they can be horrible, vicious killers, and I support this idea.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a cool one for sure.
I have one. Have you guys seen the film The Family Stone?
Yes.
Never have.
A long time ago.
Kevin. Okay. So this movie has, I think, over the years grown in estimation in the culture, and is becoming a Christmas classic. And it's a lot of people watch it every year. Me and MK watch it every year. And for those who haven't seen the film, here's the IMDb plot. An uptight liberal businesswoman accompanies, I don't know why they threw liberal in there. That has nothing to do with the plot.
Socialist.
An uptight liberal businesswoman accompanies her boyfriend to his eccentric and outgoing family's annual Christmas celebration and finds out that she's a fish out of water in their free-spirited way of life. Now, here we go. We already got our fish out of the water.
Awesome.
She's out. She's flopping on the shore, gasping for air, I guess.
Played
for
by
water.
Sarah Jessica Parker. She's the McLean. So Dermot Mulroney plays Everett Stone. He brings Sarah Jessica Parker to Christmas, the family stone. She's not really, much like John McClane, doesn't really fit in with these hardcore business types. She does not fit in with this family. There's a lot of animosity from the sister, from the mother, played by Diane Keaton. It's not quite working out, but Amy Stone, played by Rachel McAdams, has this estranged boyfriend, former boyfriend, played by Paul Schneider. Now, in the real, Family Stone, it's a quaint little romance, but in our version, Paul Schneider is a vicious incel type who's always been angry that he got dumped by Amy Stone. So he and his gang of evil terrorist incels invade the Family Stone's Christmas and are trying to just destroy the family, kidnap Rachel McAdams, but they didn't count on a liberal, uptight businesswoman being there. Played by Sarah Jessica Parker, and she, it plays the McLean role and has to kick ass and take names and earn the Family Stone's respect by saving all of their lives in a Die Hard-esque fashion. Now, Luke Wilson, he shows up late in the film. By the time he gets there in our film, the terrorist attack's already underway. Luke Wilson's on the outside. He's our Al Powell.
Yeah.
Yes. The cops show up. They're trying to get in. Luke Wilson is radioing in to Sarah Jessica Parker, and Sarah Jessica Parker has to kick ass. And the whole thing takes place in the Family Stone house. And I truly feel like this could be a really excellent film.
I think so.
I like it.
I love it. And Sarah Jessica Parker could ask Luke Wilson, "Why were you so late to the party?" And then he can say, "I shot a kid."
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
Shot a kid.
Yeah. And she can toss one of the terrorists bodies from the roof of the house, and it could smash into Luke Wilson. She could scream, "Welcome to the party, pal." You know.
Oh my God!
It's great.
Welcome to the
really
party,
maps,
pal.
It maps really well, I think.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party.
I think my favorite part of this is the perfect positioning of Sarah Jessica Parker in this movie as the true enemy of all incels, which is a strong woman that does not need a man.
Mm-hmm.
She's a woman who can have it all.
And that's by the end, she realizes she doesn't even want to marry Dermot Mulroney because she's found her calling, and that's killing incels.
Luke Wilson. Oh,
awesome.
Okay.
And now we're setting up sequels. Oh yeah, maybe she gets with Luke Wilson, but now we're setting up.
But she doesn't need to.
It's purely physical. She's just passing through.
Yeah, and that's in the sequel. That's when they have that dynamic. So you were just using me for my body, and she's like, "What of it, Luke?" You know.
Hit the road.
Hit the road, pal.
Luke.
Hit the road. You're trying to get in there without a condom. Why were you doing that? I shot a kid. That's his justification for everything is I shot a kid. Kind of unprotected sex because I shot a kid.
I mean, I that's another thing more Christmas movies need, and I think with these pitches, that's what we're bringing to Christmas is more people having shot kids.
Yeah. It's of the horrific. There's only a few Christmas movies that have a truly horrific backstory in them. Mm-hmm. One of them, had a audio thing happen. There we go. One of them is Gremlins, and I do have a pitch for Gremlins, but I'm not going to do that one because first I want to do another one. I'll table that one. Because first I have one that I'm much more excited to share. This is another movie with Stone in the title. This is another movie which is starting to grow as a Christmas classic for a lot of people. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody's watching around this time of year. So I think it's time we recognize it as a Christmas movie. And I think it's time we make it a Die Hard. And here's how we do so. We got to change the plot up a little bit, right? Everybody knows that Voldemort killed Grindelwald on his quest to become the greatest dark wizard of all time.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody
after
knows
they
that.
hooked up. After he pulled a Sarah Jessica Parker and boned him without getting emotional.
Yeah.
I think
there were emotions in that one. There was eye contact for sure.
Yeah. But in this one, Grindelwald, not killed, waits for Voldemort to get out of the picture before he launches an attack on Hogwarts because he hears that the Philosopher's Stone is there. So who is the Gruber in this one? It's Grindelwald. He's attacking Hogwarts in that first year.
Why wouldn't it just be for simplicity's sake? As someone who doesn't know who this Grindelwald is, why wouldn't it just be Voldemort? Because that's a name I know.
That's a name.
You could put that on a poster. You could sell that name. I'm sorry to jump in so quickly into the pitch,
it's all good.
Why wouldn't it just be Voldemort?
Here's exactly why, Matt, because Voldemort's already there and he's already going for the stone. I want to change things up.
Whoa.
And
now
because,
I look
in the actual plot, he's already there.
Right.
So I want to change things up. And I also want to change it because, Voldemort in the actual movie, he's on the back of Quirrell's head. Snape doesn't really respect Quirrell. There's a whole weird thing going on there. I want Snape to be in the Alice role because I think it'd be fun for the actual Gruber to play the Alice.
Oh my!
So,
right.
Who's Snape going to play the Alice to? He's going to play it to Grindelwald. Why? Because Grindelwald has the ability to bring people back from the dead. Grindelwald could bring Lily Potter back from the dead. Snape knows this. He's going to suck up just long enough for Grindelwald to do that. Then he's going to double cross him. He's trying to use the Philosopher's Stone to keep Lily alive after she comes back from the dead. Who's the John McClane in all this? Who's the loose cannon cop who's going to come into this polished world and give it a little bit of grit? It's Mad Eye fucking Moody.
Oh,
he got a tip that something was going down to the handoff the Sorcerer's Stone. He's heading to Hogwarts a couple books early.
I really appreciate doing a Harry Potter movie where none of the main characters of Harry Potter are main characters in your movie.
None of them. None whatsoever.
This is the HBO series for adults.
Hagrid, get lost.
Yeah.
I will say though that my Al Powell and what he did, it's Hagrid and he shot a kid.
Yes, of course.
He's got his wand and an umbrella. It's he uses the umbrella. It's inaccurate. It's a broken wand in there. You can't.
That's why he can never be a full wizard.
Yeah.
Because he Avada Kedavra occurred.
That's true. That's so funny too. It's like he's on the clock. He's on the clock, just Avada Kedavraing or whatever. Everybody. He's just like only shooting kill shots. Only kill shots from Hagrid. He
had a fake wand. It looked real enough.
Yeah. A fake wand.
It was a pretzel rod, Hagrid.
He'd eaten half of it.
He'd eaten half of it. Oh my God.
One bites a wand like that. I like it. I think this is good. I think HBO should take this direction. The kids, we've already flushed out Harry Potter, Hermione, Ron enough.
You're right.
Let's focus on the teachers.
And we need more Mad Eye content, more Grindelwald content.
More McGonagall.
Yeah.
We just want to live in the world a little bit.
Get those sexy friggin' mermaids in there.
Yeah, I could use a few more of those. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moaning Myrtle.
They could be Johnson & Johnson, Moaning Myrtle.
Let's find out why she moans so much.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay. So now let's pitch a really erotic version.
Let's make it erotic.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's a good one.
As
I like
it. But erotic. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's great.
Thanks, guys. We're at about the 31-minute mark. Do we want to just rapid fire one more each and get on out of here? Go back to enjoying Christmas Day?
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think we should do that. Wait, you're skipping me. I want to do a rapid fire one.
Right,
I have a couple rapid fire ones that aren't very fleshed out that I think are fun. Okay. The Grinch That Stole Christmas. We have to do The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Oh, shit.
In this Die Hard scenario, McLean is Cindy Lou Who. And of course, the Grinch is after Christmas, and she has to, I think in the town of Whoville is her Nakatomi Plaza. And while the Grinch is doing all of his tricks, she has to hide and move around and try and stop him from stealing Christmas. I think let's lean into the Grinch actually being a bad guy, and let's see him die a fiery death falling off a building.
I love it.
Love it.
Love it. Matt?
Okay. White Christmas. Okay. White Christmas, the actual film opens in World War II in Germany, where Bob Wallace and Phil Davis are soldiers, right? But in our version, they don't just sing a song. They mercilessly just gun down a German village. Because they were Nazis. I'm not gonna pretend that these were innocent Germans. They were bad guys. So we're still on Wallace and Davis's side, except for what we'll find out later. Davis shot a kid. So Wallace and Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, they come, flash forward. It's the plot of White Christmas is happening. They go up to the lodge in Vermont to meet their former Major General Thomas Waverly, but they don't know that someone survived the massacre in Berlin, and they are coming to get revenge and assassinate General Thomas F. Waverly. So Bing Crosby is in the hotel with his gang. They're practicing one of their big musical numbers. Bunch of former Nazis, bunch of former SS people come in, and they're trying to kill Waverly and once they find out Bing's there, they're going to try to kill Bing, who plays Bob Wallace. Phil Davis, he's outside. He's the Al Powell. He's trying to work with Bob Wallace to fend off these Nazis. And then that's when we learned that back in Berlin, Phil Davis shot a kid.
Beautiful.
And, the weird Mary Wicks character, she's Ellis, the housekeeper.
Nice. I haven't seen White Christmas, so that's my only impression of that, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much the movie. He didn't change that much.
I didn't. Yeah, I added like 2 more Nazis.
Yeah, just for action purposes.
Yeah,
for block,
just for the action.
That's a solid one. I know you haven't seen it, but just trust me, that's very good. What I just did.
It sounds great.
Good.
Top tier.
I do like that take a lot.
Kevin, you got one?
Yeah, I'll throw the Gremlins one out here. So Gremlins does have the grimmest thing. Movie? Oh, definitely. It has the grimmest shit that I've ever heard in a Christmas movie, which is that Kate hates Christmas. And the reason that you finally get for why Kate hates Christmas in the real movie is that her dad tried to come down the chimney as Santa and got stuck. And then they smelled his dead body and they came and pulled it out. That is the real explanation for why she hates Christmas, is because her dad died because he got stuck in a chimney while trying to be Santa at their Christmas party.
Oh my God.
I saw Gremlins at the Metrograph, and that line got the biggest laugh of the night. When she said, we only found him 2 weeks later because of the smell, the crowd howled.
It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. The first time I spit my drink out, spilled my eggnog all over myself. So Kate, she's definitely the John McClane. She's the most grizzled person in that universe. She's working at a bar. She's been taking a lot of self-defense classes. What's the Nakatomi in this situation? Mr. Wing's store, where the Mogwai comes from in the first place. This is a place that's filled with treasure. If you're going to have a place get ransacked in this movie, it's got to be Mr. Wing's store. Who is ransacking it? Who's the grouper? It's the mean rich old lady that comes into the bank. Mm-hmm. She sees an opportunity to get even more money from some of the crazy shit that Mr. Wing has in there. Instead of looking for bearer bonds, because he has a lot of, like weird animals and stuff in there, he's got a goose that lays literal golden eggs that she's going after. So it seems like the kind of shit she'd be into. Who's the Alice in this one? Corey Feldman. Checks out. He'd be a little slime bag.
Yep.
And then who's the Owl Pal and what did he do? So the dad, Mr. Pelzer, he has all these wild inventions and stuff. And so he sold a kid a potato gun, but it used real gunpowder. And so he accidentally shot a kid.
He shot a kid. No Gremlins.
That's beautiful.
Version, huh?
No Gremlins. No, this
Gremlins
is Gremlins.
Can I say that maybe the Gremlins are sort of the Johnson, Special Agent Johnson, no relation?
Yes.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
They're outside. They're causing havoc. They're not helping the situation at all, but they are adding some levity to some fun.
Absolutely.
Why hearing Stripe the Gremlin scream just like Saigon, Slick? I mean that's worth the price of admission right there.
That's what you're there for.
Yeah.
I have a last one. That's very half-baked. Very half-baked. A Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge. I don't even know if this qualifies as a Die Hard, but instead of the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future showing him the potential Christmases he could be experiencing, what if they're hunting him? And now it's Nakatomi Plaza.
Hold on.
Nakatomi Plaza is the Scrooge timeline, and so he has to battle them through the past, present, and future, using his different abodes as he goes through. And of course, Tiny Tim crippled because we'll find out Scrooge accidentally shot
a kid. Right.
Holy shit.
This is interesting. This one I like as sort of a temporal. I really like the idea as the timeline is the Nakatomi building. There's
time is the real plaza.
Oh my God. What if the bearer bond equivalency is that they're buying like shares in Scrooge's company in the present, taking them back to the past so that they can vest for the future and get rich.
Right.
Whoa. What if we find out that this is way off topic? What if we find out that the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future are all actually the same ghost in different time periods?
Whoa, that's a Shyamalan-esque twist.
That's a good twist. This could work.
This could
work. There's been a lot of time traveling slashers lately. I say it's time for a time traveling action slasher, Die Hard Christmas movie.
Yeah. Die Hard on a timeline. I'm into it.
I mean, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
That might be my favorite of the ones we pitched. Actually, Elf I think is the strongest.
Elf's definitely the strongest.
Strong.
Yeah. It's the most like a Die Hard.
We bookended this very
just
well.
As far as if we're just going off of random ideas, I think a Christmas Carol traveling through time action movie does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's not really like a Die Hard, but if you pitch it like Die Hard on a timeline, I mean, that's something.
Yeah, Die Hard in the timeline.
I think we can all agree that the three best ideas that came out of this were Elf as a Die Hard, Christmas Carol as a Die Hard, and Herbie Cornelius Gennaro.
Yeah.
Herbie
I think
Cornelius
Gennaro just pounding Herbie.
And honestly, the Gremlins idea I love too. I haven't seen Gremlins either. I have a lot of things to see.
Get us in the comments and vote on which one of these is your favorite. And we promise by next year, instead of a podcast, we will be screening the film that we have made.
Incredible. Look, doable. I'd write a couple scenes. I'd be into it. I'd do a little audio drama of this.
Oh yeah,
we can make a trailer for sure.
Yeah. No, I think we should spend millions of dollars and actually, make one of these films.
Okay. Can be more than millions.
That's a legal binding agreement, a legal binding verbal agreement that I'm committing to you guys.
Yeah. That's an oral agreement.
Right back. Matt, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. I love it every year. It's what I now have nothing to look forward to. Film
except next year's
podcast. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Listeners, thank you so much for being here as well. We will be back here with the Rennies leading up to the new year. So we'll see you for those. Until then, stay nerdy, everybody. Happy holidays.
Stay nerdy. Bye.